I used your data and the CDC data because I felt that it was important to note that while the headlines are scary, right now, it does appear that with at least maybe mRNA vaccines, that breakthrough, very negative outcomes are very rare, correct?
Yeah, it does seem vaccines are performing just the way they have in clinical trials and real world data so far. And I think that is a good sign. I mean, even data from Public Health England has cited mRNA vaccines north of 80% protection against symptomatic infection, where they have about 90% of their new cases coming from the Delta variant.
And there are some very concerning numbers out of the UK, Matthew. We are seeing cases and hospitalizations are on the rise. Do you believe, though, that that uptick, because we often compare the US to the UK, right, for many reasons, do you think there's more hospitalizations there in some cases because in their vaccines, maybe AstraZeneca or others, might be slightly less effective? Or are we going to follow their path higher?
I think if you look at the data, a lot of the rise in cases there is actually not coming from vaccinated individuals. It's coming still from the individuals that are not vaccinated. And even though there is a high rate of vaccination in the UK, just like the US, there is a proportion of the population that isn't vaccinated. And the Delta variant appears to have highly infectious qualities. And so that leads to more infections in the non-vaccinated population. And then I think maybe a second piece, which is important to note, is the UK prioritized first doses over both doses. And so they may have a proportion of the population that has only had first doses of their vaccine. And it looks like the protection against the Delta variant there, at least for symptomatic infection, is somewhat modest, probably below 50%.
Okay, because we have looked to the UK in some cases because they were more vaccinated as a percentage of the population than us. But there are some key differences, it sounds like, between them and us. Matthew, can you also comment on this big slowdown in vaccinations in the United States, but also, thankfully, a huge drop in cases? We're about to go below 10,000 if we haven't already on a 7-day moving average.
Yeah, I guess I would say, look, you want more people vaccinated for a variety of reasons. We'll have to see what happens as the Delta variant becomes a greater proportion of cases in the US. Right now, it's only sort of between 10 and 20%, depending on the data you look at. I think the thing I'm watching is there going to be a difference in outbreak patterns in states that are highly vaccinated, say, New York, which has greater than 70% vaccination, versus a state like Mississippi or Louisiana, which only has about 35% vaccinated. So we'll have to see what happens. But I would say more broadly, right, lower levels of vaccination still leave us open to outbreaks, especially in the unvaccinated group. So it would be great if we could get that number higher.
Is there any indication in your early data, Matthew, not to put you on the spot, about tracking that the relationship between the states? Because actually, if you go, I know this is a very unpopular thing to say, if you go back and just run the data as I have and you have and everybody else for the last year and a half on cases and mortalities, the difference between the states is actually not that great, depending on any metric. Are you seeing any variance, bad word, I guess, between the different states and vaccination rates?
I think we don't have enough data to really say anything specific right now. I think what we're seeing is, you may see a slight uptake in some of the lower vaccinated states, but it's not so large right now that you can definitely assign it to vaccination differences.
Okay. Now we look around the world, Matthew, Latin America, parts of continental Africa, they are seeing, as you've written in your report yesterday, by the way, always a must read, excellent stuff, a concerning rise. Are we seeing any indication of a global vaccination rollout? India looks better, but there's still billions of people that have not been vaccinated.
Yeah, it's still gonna take time. Obviously more doses are being made, and COVAX and some of those facilities are getting more doses to distribute, but it's going to take well into 2022 to get more vaccines into people globally. And frankly, that's important because while you have a lot of replication velocity and a lot of outbreak in other areas, you potentially see more mutations, which could be concerning for places in the U.S. Obviously, it's not a foregone conclusion, but that's why it's important outside of sort of the public health and humanitarian issues in each of the countries. That's why it's important globally to be able to vaccinate.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.